The Wheel of Time universe follows a structure in which time is not linear, but cyclical. Everything that happens has happened before and will happen again. The wheel spins and weaves people's destinies on its loom, meaning that no one can completely escape their fate. In this video, I will show you 16 of the creatures, beings, and monsters from this fantasy world created by Robert Jordan. Number 1. Myrddraal. The Myrddraal are extremely dangerous and fearsome shadow spawn. Human in appearance with black hair, wax-white skin, and snake-like movements. Their most distinctive feature is that they have no eyes, although this does not prevent them from being able to guide themselves without problems. They inspire intense terror in practically everyone who comes into contact with them, including the Trollocs, whom they direct during battle. Their authority is believed to emanate from the Dark One himself, and it is well known that they have served as leaders of the shadow armies during the imprisonment of the Forsaken and in the absence of the Lords of Dread. They always dress in black, with armor made of plates of the same color that resemble scales and accentuate their similarity to reptiles. It is particularly characteristic that the black cloak that accompanies them never flutters in the wind or during a ride. They often wear their face partially covered by a hood, hiding the part of their face where their eyes should be. They are beings endowed with great intelligence, completely dedicated to doing evil in the cruelest and most merciless way possible. They can disappear into the shadows or move among them, being able to move from one place to another without any other impediment than the presence of some shadow in their vicinity. Their blood is acidic and can corrode steel if it is not cleaned from blades and armor. Their nails are long and hard enough to mark wood, and if all this were not enough, these beings are excellent fighters, much stronger than humans, and can take down any enemy without apparent effort and with only one hand. Number 2. Trolloc. A Trolloc is a type of shadow spawn created in the Age of Legends that comprises the bulk of the Dark One's armies. They are a hideous cross between human and animal race with physical characteristics of both. Although capable of speech and a cruel and twisted humor, they are less intelligent than humans and require supervision in battle. They are carnivorous, eating their human prey, sadistic, fearful, and violent. Unlike other shadow spawn, Trollocs are social creatures, grouped into several distinct tribes. Wolves call them the Twisted Ones. Number 3. Dragcar. Dragcars could be mistaken for ordinary men, were it not for their sallow skin, abnormally large black eyes, and, above all, a pair of leathery, bat-like wings. In low-light conditions, they can go unnoticed much more easily, as they can hide their eyes in shadows and fold their wings in such a way that they resemble a cloak. They are tall and slender in build, with long, delicate-looking arms and large hands with slender fingers. They have shoulder-length black hair, often combed back. A closer look at a dragcar's almost white face would reveal that, in addition to its soulless, inhumanly large eyes and sharp cheekbones, it has an amorphous mouth with red lips and pointed teeth. They have little ability to fight. However, fulfilling their role as highly specialized assassins does not require brute strength, but rather stealth and agility. The dragcar will seek out its target and sing to them in a soft, lulling voice, lulling the victim into a state of hypnotism. When close enough, it appears to be kissing its victim, but in reality, it is sucking out their soul, leaving them an empty shell. After devouring the soul, it will also drain the life from the victim. Number 4. Golem. These are creatures endowed with strength far superior to that of humans, boneless, and capable of passing through the smallest of openings. Even the Forsaken themselves were aware that the golem, specifically designed to kill people capable of channeling, were a double-edged sword, so only 6 of them were created, 3 males and 3 females. Golems appear as normal, ordinary people, sometimes described as nondescript, in order to avoid drawing too much attention to themselves. Their favorite prey are people who can harness the one power, as they get a feeling of euphoria from killing them. Number 5. Gray Men. Gray men, also known as soulless, are creatures of the shadow. They are very effective assassins due to their ability to go completely unnoticed, either in crowded public areas or by infiltrating heavily guarded private quarters. The victim themselves are usually unaware of a gray man's presence until they are attacked. Number 6. Zomara. Although they are considered shadow spawn for having been created through the intermediary of the Dark One and as another idea of the diabolical mind of Agenor, the Zomara are not malevolent beings, but lack any power of decision beyond the sole purpose for which they exist, to serve their lords. They are humanoid beings, of slender build and youthful appearance, with long golden hair and a candid smile always on their mouths. Zomara exist in both sexes, though it is often difficult to distinguish between a man and a woman, especially since they usually wear loose white robes and move with a grace and ease that is eerie. Their physique and bearing seem superhuman in any case, but it is always evident that there is something dark and terrible about them, as their large black eyes are empty and lifeless. They lack all will, but they possess an interesting ability, mind reading, which they use to anticipate their master's every wish. Number 7. Mashin Shin. Mashin Shin is a parasite of the paths, preying on the souls and memories of those it ensnares. It appears to be some sort of semi-sentient entity made of darkness that flows like air. Survivors of encounters with this being tell of feeling a light breeze on the roads before its arrival. They also speak of hearing thousands of screaming voices, which could manifest as a disjointed monologue obsessed with blood, screams, and terror. It is not known exactly what happens when Mashin Shin completely engulfs someone, except for some of its effects. It is described as stealing minds and souls and leaving the survivors as empty shells. Number 8. Ogier. The Ogier are a race of non-human creatures who possess an intense love of peace and knowledge. They are also known as the Alantin, or Brothers of the Tree, and are considered the greatest architects, engineers, and builders, responsible for creating the most beautiful and magnificent buildings and cities in the world. The work they do in stone is easily recognizable by its organic nature, as their works often look as if they were grown from the earth like plants. Number 9. Nim. Nim are creatures created during the Age of Legend through the use of the One Power. They look like large tree men, made entirely of plant material, with a body composed of stems, branches and roots, hair and beards of leaves and flowers, and acorns for eyes. Proportionately, Nim are as tall compared to Ogier. Number 10. Corlum. Corlums are animals from the Shan-Chan continent. They look like furry, flightless birds, and their fur is usually gray, black, or brown. They can grow to be up to 8 feet tall, with long necks and a double crest on their heads that serve as ears. At maturity, they can weigh up to 150 kilograms. Their beak is long, hooked like that of a bird of prey, and seems too large for their oblong head. They have powerful hind legs with 4 toes and short claws and short forearms that they hold close to their body. Corlums are carnivores and are extremely efficient predators, able to track their prey using both smell and hearing. To attack, they use their long beak, which is similar to that of a bird of prey. They are fast runners, able to outrun a man in a short race and can match him over long distances. Number 11. Wolf Brother. A wolf brother is a person who develops a very special bond with wolves, being able to communicate with them even over great distances and acquiring some of their own characteristics. They are able to open their minds to wolves who are nearby and maintain telepathic conversations with them, characterized by the complexity of the messages and images that the wolves transmit to humans. Another very important ability that the wolf brothers possess is their ability to enter the wolf dream, and can be dream walkers of great power, so much so that they can experience the prophetic dreams typical of the dreamers, or communicate with the souls of wolves who have died and are waiting there to return to the world of the living. Number 12. Elfin. Collectively, the name of 2 species of extra-dimensional humanoids, the Elfin and their counterparts, the Eelfin, each live in a very different dimension from the real world, seemingly separate but connected. From a distance, the Elfin could almost pass for humans, but one glance at them is enough to tell that they are entirely different beings. Regardless of their sex, they are very tall and thin, and their movements are too graceful to be mistaken for humans. Their bodies and limbs are covered in loose yellow clothing, with the exception of the three who appear to be their leaders, who wear red. They walk barefoot and have abnormally thin and elongated fingers and toes. Their faces are narrow and also very elongated, and their eyes, reduced to bright, vertical black pupils, are striking. They appear to lack teeth. Everything about them resembles snakes. Even when they walk, they seem to be gliding across the ground. They have long, straight black hair and pale skin that glistens like the scales of a reptile. The Ilfin resemble foxes, which is why they are known as fox people, or cunning people. They will grant 3 wishes to anyone who visits them, but a price must be set beforehand when dealing with them. If you don't, they will set their own price to their liking. This is often painful for the petitioner. It is not known exactly what they gain from this transaction, but they seem to have a preference for strong human emotions and sensations, especially negative ones, such as pain and sadness. They can also access the memories of those who visit them. Number 13. Lopar. The Lopar resemble large, hairless bears, with thick, reddish-brown fur instead of hair and no snout. If a Lopar stands on its hind legs, it can grow to be up to 3 meters tall. They can run as fast or faster than horses, but have little stamina and tire over long distances. They are fierce fighters with sharp teeth and retractable claws, but only if commanded or agitated. They are generally calm and can be kept as pets by bloods. Number 14. Raken. The raken is a large, flying animal with a body longer than a horse's and about the same in girth. It has leathery gray skin and large, powerful wings. Reports say its intelligence is roughly equivalent to a horse's. Its head is shaped like a long, horny snout with hard ridges that serve as both lips and teeth, and powerful jaws capable of cutting through a branch or arm, and is supported by a long, graceful neck. It has a very long, thin, fragile-looking tail that is actually very strong. Although the raken is slow and clumsy on the ground, it is an extremely agile and very fast flyer. Number 15. Toraken. These are large flying animals, resembling raken, except larger and brown rather than gray and herbivorous, not omnivorous. They are not as agile or fast as raken, but are stronger and can fly much greater distances without rest or carry heavier loads. Their primary purpose is troop or cargo transport, carrying up to 1,000 pounds over distances of 200 miles. Number 16. Grolm. Gorlms are the size of large bears, only with the grayish-green coloring and skin texture of very tough frogs. Like torms, they have 3 eyes. Their diet consists of whatever is at hand, including their own dead. When walking, grolms appear almost clumsy, moving like a duck. All traces of clumsiness disappear when they run, as they can cover large jumps of land in a hurry. Grolms communicate by means of a short, sharp bark. With this call, they alert others of the nearby species that food has been found. They are used in battle, although usually only against lightly armored opponents, to open gaps in an enemy line that will then be quickly exploited by human soldiers. They are very useful against cavalry, as horses often panic in their presence unless they are specifically trained to tolerate grolms. If you like this type of video in which I talk about creatures from books, stories, series, and movies, I encourage you to subscribe and recommend more topics for future videos.